So, smartphones from around 3 years ago. You can pick them up on the cheap now for somewhere between 150 to £200. They have flagship specs and they were the best of their day. So, now that they're really cheap, should you get one? Should you upgrade from your mid-range phone to a flagship? Well, let's see what's out there. First up, we have the HTC One M8. My name is TEkSTA, and this is going to be a little bit of a review on the HTC One M8. So what do we have in front of us today? Well, we have a phone that was widely regarded as what should be a brilliant successor to an even more brilliant phone, which was its predecessor, the HTC One M7. But there is a few shortcomings, but there are also a load of great things about the HTC One M8. So let's take a look. First of all, we've got that gorgeous screen. We've got a gorgeous 1080p 5-inch screen that has Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on top, which means it should survive pretty much every bump under the sun, as long as you have some common sense and don't drop it down every single toilet in a nightclub. It is a pretty rigid, I'm going with the word rigid. It's a pretty solid phone in terms of build quality. It's made out of all aluminum or aluminium, one of the two. But it means that the phone is very, very strong and has this really nice feel in the hand. And especially when you take into account the nice curved back, it makes it fit in the hand really, really nicely. Really, really comfortable. And its size is just generally great. There's hardly any side bezels around the screen. You've just got bezels for the boom sound speakers. So talking of speakers, let's get into the specs. So what do we actually have? Well, under the hood, we've got a Snapdragon 801 processor that's clocked at 2.3 GHz, and we have the Adreno 330 GPU. Now, couple those together, and you should be able to just conquer any game or any multitasking challenge. Even today, even though this phone is 3 years old, it will still whiz about like absolutely not a problem. So, the only thing is, you're not going to be able to support the very, very latest of graphical games. You're not going to be able to do VR. Well, not intense VR, but you're going to be able to give unofficial VR games a support. Well, a go, yeah. But generally, performance-wise, not a problem. And if you custom ROM it, you may even be able to squeak out a little bit more performance. Right, what else we got? We have, let's go around the entire phone actually. So on the bottom, we have a micro USB. Got a micro USB port. We also have a headphone jack. Headphone jacks were very popular in these days. On the right hand side, we have the volume rocker and the SIM card tray with the hole for ejecting the SIM card tray out. On the top, we have what is an IR blaster, so this black line that goes across. This is actually an IR receiver, and you also got the power button as well. And then on the left hand side, we have the micro SD card slot, which supports up to 256 gig, so you can't run out of memory. Now, what the HTC One M8 had a disadvantage for was its camera. It only had a 4 megapixel camera, but it was classed as the ultra pixel. It was a camera that could let in more light, and at the time it was good. Yes, it could let in more light, and low light features were good, but its drawback was in any other scenario it was very, very average at best. There was just no depth to the photos. You couldn't zoom in. It's just you couldn't capture a beautiful photo of a landscape or whatever. It just wasn't possible. So with the M8, they've stuck with the ultra sensor pixel ting camera at the back. So it's still 4 megapixel and still an ultra pixel, still lets in more light. but we now have this dual camera. So this helps catch depth in a photo. So you should be able to pull in more information and save this onto the photo to make up for the lack of megapixels that are in the photo. Does it work? To a degree. To a degree. Like, if you take a photo now, it will be okay in resolution and quality, but it's just not quite there. I mean, especially with the caliber of phones that are out today, it's just not a competition. It literally isn't. It wouldn't be a phone I'd recommend for taking photos, let's put it like that. Other specs of the camera though is that it does have a dual LED tone flash, so that does also improve low light performance, and it can film in 1080p and 720p, slow-mo, HDR, and everything apart from 4K basically, which makes me slightly disappointed. But then again, this is a 3-year-old phone. Now, the speakers. Yes, I mentioned them earlier. There are 2 stereo speakers, and to be fair, HTC were probably the first company, or one of the first companies, that started this trend with stereo speakers on a phone that were especially facing towards you. Man, this is loud, and I mean loud. Like, if you just had to have, if you just were watching a movie, or I don't know, just a quick video that you're showing to your friends at a party, you notice the speakers. You really do. They pack a punch. Now, because of its size, you're not really going to get pounding bass, but there's a decent kick for its size. There's a decent kick that makes you go, that's an impressive set of speakers. So you know what? I like that. That's a very good point with this phone. Very, very, very good speakers. And its audio quality, also for its headphone jack, is also very good. We've got standard equalizer settings, and on a stock ROM, you would have Beats audio and all that schnazzle. What else we got? So yes, there is an infrared port, so you can use it to control your TV remote. Well, you can use it as a TV remote to control your TV or other devices. We do have NFC, GPS, got Wi-Fi up to AC actually, which is quite impressive at the time. It's dual band, so it supports your 2.4 gigahertz and your 5 gigahertz networks. Trust me, as a ex-student, you do come across networks which are 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, and please join the 5 gigahertz ones. It's really, really quick. Right, and other features that we have now. Another downside actually of this phone, well, I say was its battery. It only had 2600 milliamp hours, which, okay, wasn't great. Phones at this point were starting to come out with 3000 milliamp hours, and even now, today, it keeps fluctuating. This sort of, yeah, we're rising in battery sizes, and then we're gonna go back down in battery sizes because we made shit more efficient. Right, well, with this, if you keep it on its stock ROM, battery isn't that great. You're going to struggle to last a day. I'm genuinely being serious. But if you do custom ROM it, tweak some settings, you can probably get close to 2 days actually. You could probably double its battery life. I'm not saying HTC software is inefficient, but it just has a load of features on it. I mean, HTC Sense is a absolutely brilliant interface, but the custom ROM community for this phone is second to none. There are some really great ROMs, like the ROM I'm using on this is called the Resurrection ROM, and it is extremely efficient on battery life. Extremely efficient. This thing stretches. It can be very, very handy if you need a phone with great battery life. So that's kudos to HTC and XDA developers. I'll release a video on how to do custom ROMing very soon. Yeah, so its standard OS was, I believe, KitKat at the time. You can upgrade to Marshmallow, which is Android 6.0, but as of the date of this video, that is not the latest Android release version that's out there. That will be Android Nougat, which is Android 7. But you can, as I've said, custom ROM the phone to put Android 7 on there and get some extra benefits and other features that you wouldn't normally get from HTC. So, do I recommend this phone? If you were not a techie person and you just needed a spare phone or just a new phone on stock, I don't think I could. It's got some good bits, but its battery life and that camera is a really big disadvantage. The phone will not last a day. Not really. If you are a heavy user, it's just never, ever, ever gonna last a day. And yeah, you could say that about some phones now, but you will see the battery drain on this very rapidly by the minute. And also the camera, it's just, you're not gonna be able to capture the scene you intended to. Its front-facing camera is okay, but that's it. It's just okay. It's nothing special. Yes, you have got a great screen. Yes, you have got great speakers. And yes, you have got a very, very, very strong phone. This thing can, it can scratch easily, and it is pretty much a fingerprint magnet on the front. But it's strong. It's strong. This thing will drop, and the back will not bend or anything. It will literally survive. Well, maybe a lorry running over it, but I can't vouch for that. But those points aside, if you were to custom ROM the phone, I would say give it a go. It's definitely a phone, I would say, that if you custom ROM it, you do get some nice added benefits. You mitigate the battery life to an extent. And I'm not saying the camera quality improves, because there's only so much you can do with the hardware that's inside, but it's manageable. As long as you're not a complete photography nerd, then you could get away with it. So overall, should I recommend this phone like a second-hand phone to get? Yeah, why not? You know, this is a flagship I would definitely recommend. Only if you know how to custom ROM. If you don't, then maybe not. Its disadvantages are just, in my eyes, a little bit too much. If you don't like photography, then yeah, okay, give it a go. If you do, this ain't the phone for you, buddy. It really isn't. Anyway, that is a quick little review of the HTC One M8. I might have sort of rabbled on at times and done some weird sayings or like flustered over my words, but it's just kind of off the bat thing of what I thought of a phone from times gone by. And I will be doing a couple more videos of these, of other flagships from around about 2014, 2015, and on my opinion on if I recommend them as an upgrade or an option to people looking to upgrade, basically. So yeah, if you like the video, I know this was a little bit different than what I normally do. I'm usually gaming and raging and tearing my hair out and rage quitting and all that shit, but yeah, if you like what I was doing here, then yeah, please give it a like. Please comment down below on what you think. And if you were a HTC One M8 user in the past, offer your opinion. Just what did you think of the phone? Or even if you haven't had the phone, were you interested in it at the time, or are you now? Yeah, please comment down below on what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.